I honestly believe Sophie Cunningham may be the most popular women's basketball player not named Caitlin Clark. And I don't say that out of nowhere. I say that based on data. Now, that doesn't mean she's anywhere close to the second best basketball player or one of the best basketball players or anything like that. Obviously, there is Asia Wilson and Nafisa Collier and so on and so forth. And the young players, Paige and Angel and, so many. I mean, there's a lot before Sophie. And maybe this is a temporary boom. So, I don't want to like jump all the way off the ledge because Angel Reese has been right there with Caitlin Clark.
The words hit like a hammer blow. Sophie Cunningham wasn't just popular, she was for a significant period the most searched WNBA player, even outranking Caitlin Clark according to boardroom data. This wasn't a rumor or a hot take from a sports analyst, but hard, verifiable search interest numbers that sent shockwaves through the league. The implications of this unprecedented surge are staggering, hinting at a seismic shift in the landscape of WNBA stardom. It forced everyone to confront an uncomfortable truth about who truly captivates public attention, signaling a potential new era where digital engagement rivals on-court dominance.
And apparently her search interest is the same. According to Boardroom, she was the most searched WNBA player this year. Now, a lot of that had to do with the protecting of Caitlin Clark. And it was like, who's this? Sophie Cunningham. And everybody's learning about Sophie. But you've seen her leverage that since. And really, her star power is not all based on basketball, right? It's not a basketball-centric thing, but it is certainly a thing. And, that comes with being in proximity to Caitlin Clark and obviously playing for the Indiana Fever. So the question is it a temporary fever or a lasting one? And that's what you'll have to see with Sophie go.
This wasn't merely an arbitrary claim. The data unequivocally supported the notion that Sophie Cunningham commanded an extraordinary level of public curiosity, surpassing even the widely recognized phenom. While the WNBA is replete with supreme talents like Asia Wilson, Aaliyah Boston, and Alyssa Thomas, whose on-court brilliance is undeniable, the metric of search interest paints a different picture of influence. It highlights a burgeoning star power that operates independently of traditional basketball rankings, redefining what it means to be the most popular in today's hyper-connected sports world.
Question is it a temporary fever or a lasting one? And that's what you'll have to see with Sophie going forward. But this is the numbers from Boardroom right here. Most searched athletes in 2025. As you can see, there's Sophie Cunningham. Caitlin Clark, not even up there. Now, Caitlin Clark was down for a lot this season. That made a big difference, of course. And some of the other players are already known. And when I say not all based on basketball, like that's the case for other players too. I would say the same for Angel Reese, who is really, really good at what she does on the court. I'm not saying anything negative in a basketball standpoint, but she's also carved out a brand for herself and sort of an influence.
A critical factor in this astonishing shift was Caitlin Clark's presence, or rather her momentary dip in dominant online visibility during the period the data was collected. Her unparalleled fame meant any slight reduction in her overwhelming search interest created a void, a unique opening for another player to step into the digital spotlight. This temporal circumstance allowed Sophie to capture an unprecedented share of the public's attention, demonstrating just how quickly the narrative can pivot when the established hierarchy faces unexpected challenges.
That's the case for other players too. I would say the same for Angel Reese, who is really, really good at what she does on the court. I'm not saying anything negative in a basketball standpoint, but she's also carved out a brand for herself in sort of an influencer type of space and the Victoria's Secret stuff and all that. So it's not purely basketball. It started because of basketball. Now, a lot of the other players are more, based on basketball. Paige is a little bit of a TikTok star and the like, but it's all more a little bit rooted in basketball for her. And then obviously players like Asia and Nafisa, it's all pretty much basketball.
It's vital to clarify that this discussion isn't an indictment of Sophie Cunningham's basketball skills. She is, by all accounts, a very good player, a high-level role player who can start, come off the bench, shoot, and brings immense toughness to the court. Her value within the Indiana Fever squad is undeniable. However, the sheer magnitude of her popular surge transcends her impressive but conventional basketball contributions, pointing instead to a different, more culturally driven source of celebrity that has caught the entire sporting world off guard.
Players like Asia and Nafisa, it's all pretty much basketball. And I think with Caitlin Clark, it started with basketball. And that has always been the root of her explosive popularity. But Sophie Cunningham, I did the video the other day about, her speaking about Caitlin Clark a lot. And, that proximity to Caitlin Clark has done a lot, right? Like, she stood up for Clark in that one moment against J.C. Sheldon and the Connecticut Sun, and nothing has been the same since. Arby's deals, Ring camera deals, podcast.
The genesis of Sophie's astronomical rise can be traced directly to her strategic proximity to Caitlin Clark, specifically as a teammate on the Indiana Fever. The shared environment positioned her squarely within the most intense media glare the WNBA has ever seen. Being intertwined with Clark's unprecedented rookie season meant every interaction, every shared moment was amplified, creating a constant, low-level hum of public awareness that slowly but surely began to build Sophie's own distinct public profile, setting the stage for future explosion.
Right? Like, she stood up for Clark in that one moment against J.C. Sheldon and the Connecticut Sun, and nothing has been the same since. Arby's deals, Ring camera deals, podcasts, all those sorts of things. And search interest, can be a lot of it at once. I'm not saying it, I don't have the graph to see how it played out over the year, but I will say it backs up the numbers that I've seen, because I've said that behind the scenes many a times, that I wonder, is Sophie Cunningham actually the second? And it's sort of counterintuitive, because I know she's not even close to the second best.
Then came the undeniable turning point. Sophie's fierce defense of Caitlin Clark during a heated on-court exchange with J.C. Sheldon in the Connecticut Sun. That singular, visceral moment, broadcast widely and replayed endlessly across social media, transformed Sophie from a well-regarded player into an instant legend in the eyes of many. She became Clark's protector, an embodiment of loyalty and grit, igniting a viral phenomenon that instantly propelled her into a level of mainstream recognition few could have predicted. Nothing has been the same since.
I've said that behind the scenes many a times, that I wonder, is Sophie Cunningham actually the second? And it's sort of counterintuitive, because I know she's not even close to the second best basketball. Not even close. Like, she's a good basketball player, a very good basketball player, high level role player, right? She can start, she can come off the bench, she can shoot, she's tough, all that stuff. So she has value on the court. It's not to dismiss that, but obviously her star power is born from something else. So it makes you a little bit hesitant to say something like that, because you'll get the blowback of, "Come on, how dare you? How dare you?" But I'm just saying, it's backed up by the numbers I see.
Following that pivotal incident, Sophie Cunningham meticulously capitalized on her newfound notoriety, skillfully translating a moment of viral fame into tangible brand power. Suddenly, she was securing lucrative endorsement deals, like the Ring camera partnership, and making prominent appearances on podcasts. This strategic leveraging of her public image, moving beyond the confines of pure athletic performance, showcased a shrewd understanding of modern celebrity, proving she could parlay a compelling narrative into significant commercial opportunities and sustained public interest.
Something like that, because you'll get the blowback of, "Come on, how dare you? How dare you?" But I'm just saying, it's backed up by the numbers I see, and it's obviously backed up by what goes into the Google machine.
Sophie's journey into the influencer space draws fascinating parallels with other athletes who have masterfully built brands beyond their on-court exploits. Angel Reese, for example, is not only a formidable basketball talent, but also a marketing powerhouse, known for her Victoria's Secret partnerships and massive social media presence. While their paths diverge, both demonstrate a potent ability to cultivate a distinct public persona that transcends mere athletic statistics, showcasing the evolving nature of sports stardom, where off-court narratives are equally, if not more, impactful. Even a generational talent like Paige Bueckers, despite her undeniable basketball prowess, recognizes the imperative of cultivating an additional public persona, notably through platforms like TikTok. Her popularity, while deeply rooted in her exceptional skills, also benefits from a savvy engagement with digital trends. Yet Sophie's explosive ascent in search interest suggests a unique pathway to fame, one that initially leveraged a specific dramatic interaction rather than a gradual buildup, showcasing the unpredictable nature of viral breakthroughs in sports. The paramount question now looming over Sophie Cunningham's career is whether this unprecedented wave of popularity will prove to be a temporary fever or a lasting transformative shift in her public standing. Is her status as the most searched player a fleeting moment, largely contingent on her association with Clark and specific controversies? Or has she organically cultivated an enduring appeal that will continue to resonate? The answer to this will determine the true longevity and impact of her unexpected rise. The stark figures presented by Boardroom were undeniable. Sophie Cunningham was identified as the most searched WNBA player for a significant stretch in 2025. This wasn't mere anecdotal evidence, it was concrete data, forcing a radical recalibration of how we measure true public interest and engagement within the league. The fact that Caitlin Clark, the undeniable face of women's basketball, was not in that top spot for this period underscores the magnitude of Sophie's astonishing breakthrough, proving the landscape is far more dynamic than previously thought. A significant driver behind Sophie's initial spike in search interest was pure, unadulterated curiosity. After her viral moment defending Clark, millions took to Google, asking who is Sophie Cunningham? This investigative impulse, fueled by a dramatic on-court narrative, quickly transformed into a deeper engagement as fans learned more about her personality and story. It was an organic, internet-driven ignition that catapulted her into a sphere of recognition that transcended her previous, more niche basketball fame. What truly distinguishes Sophie's star power is its inherent non-basketball centricity. While her contributions on the court are valuable, she's a tough, reliable shooter and a high-level role player. Her celebrity transcends these athletic merits. Her brand is woven from threads of personality, loyalty, and viral moments, creating a dual identity as both a respected athlete and a compelling cultural figure. This innovative blend exemplifies a powerful new paradigm for athletes seeking widespread recognition in the digital age. This phenomenon presents an almost uncomfortable reality for established basketball titans like A'ja Wilson, Aaliyah Boston, and Breanna Stewart, whose championship pedigrees and unparalleled skill are beyond dispute. Yet, in the realm of raw public search interest, they were momentarily eclipsed by a player whose fame blossomed from a distinct, less traditional source. This unexpected development compels a reevaluation within the league itself, forcing a reconsideration of what truly fuels mainstream engagement and cultural relevance in the modern sports landscape. The unique dynamic between Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham has become a powerful narrative engine, one that has inadvertently propelled Sophie into the stratosphere. Clark's unprecedented fame generated an immense gravitational pull, and Sophie, by stepping into the role of a protective, loyal teammate, skillfully leveraged that force to launch her own celebrity. It's a symbiotic relationship, where one's immense star power unintentionally fuels another's rise, creating unforeseen and utterly captivating outcomes that constantly reshape the WNBA narrative. For too long, the narrative surrounding the WNBA has been overwhelmingly dominated by Caitlin Clark, often overshadowing the league's diverse array of talent. Sophie Cunningham's surprising surge directly challenges this singular focus, demonstrating that public interest is not a finite resource. Her ability to capture a significant portion of the spotlight, even temporarily surpassing Clark in crucial search metrics, suggests a broadening of the WNBA's appeal, indicating that a more diversified and expansive fan base is rapidly emerging. This isn't just about clicks and fleeting internet fame, it's about the tangible business of star power. Endorsement deals, lucrative partnerships, and extensive media opportunities are increasingly gravitating towards those who command widespread public attention, irrespective of their statistical rankings among the league's elite. Sophie's rapid acquisition of these high-profile commercial ventures signals a clear and present shift in the fundamental business model of athletic celebrity, where engagement and virality are now paramount metrics for success. The unforeseen impact of Sophie's data-backed popularity could fundamentally reshape the WNBA landscape in profound ways. Imagine the implications for player marketability, fan acquisition, and even team strategies if a player's digital footprint consistently rivals or exceeds that of the league's most dominant force. This scenario forces a critical reevaluation of who truly holds cultural sway, potentially leading to unforeseen choices from top players and a dramatic redistribution of influence within the league itself, creating an entirely new dynamic. We are undeniably witnessing a new era where digital influence and viral moments can elevate athletes to unprecedented heights, often independent of their on-court hierarchy. Sophie Cunningham's extraordinary journey, from a highly regarded role player to a search phenomenon, inextricably linked to her connection with Caitlin Clark, serves as a definitive case study in this evolving landscape. It's a powerful testament to the transformative power of a single moment, amplified by modern media, capable of forging a completely new kind of sports superstar. The data is unequivocal. Sophie Cunningham's meteoric rise, fueled by her proximity and protective stance toward Caitlin Clark, created a public interest phenomenon that briefly eclipsed even Clark herself in search popularity. This wasn't a mere statistical anomaly. It signaled a profound shift in how star power is cultivated and consumed in modern sports. If public engagement truly dictates the league's trajectory, then the unthinkable question looms large. What if the undisputed queen of basketball finds her singular reign challenged by an unexpected challenger, prompting her to seek new horizons for her unparalleled talent, leaving the WNBA to embrace a surprising new face of the league?